What's up? It's Andy coming to you on a Wednesday, and I'm here to discuss this huge slate of games. I know you needed someone to take you through all of these games. I mean, I don't even know where to start. This is going to take a while. I mean, be prepared, buckle up. It's going to be a nice 2-hour show as we have to discuss all of the one game that we have going on. We have the Eastern Conference Final, Game 5. Florida's up in the series 3-1. Game 4 looked a little bit like a mail-in. If you were watching the Florida Panthers in games 1 through 3, it looks like they were out of some speed burst in Game 4. I personally am going to say that Game 4 result was a little more because of a Florida mail-in than anything we potentially saw out of Carolina. Anybody who said like, oh, well, that was the Carolina we saw against Washington. Yeah. Do you want to know what nullifies the Carolina that you saw against Washington? When Florida brings that same effort as Carolina up 3-0 in the series. We didn't necessarily see that. Now we have a Game 5 in Carolina, so the series has been taken back to Carolina. And are you one of those people who believe, well, now, I mean, you got to think they're going to force a Game 6. While there is a chance they can force a Game 6, do not forget what I keep telling you about the Florida Panthers. It doesn't matter if they had to play the Monstars on their own planet, in their own building, they still can come out with a win just as easily. Honestly, I'm starting to believe that their mail-ins have a higher likelihood of occurring on their own home ice, for whatever reason. That Game 6 against Toronto looked just like that Game 4 against Carolina. I don't know what it is. I mean, I personally am on the same kind of wavelength as them. There's nothing that would make me happier than like to show up at Gargoyles Arena, where all you probably consider home, and just hit a game-winning home run and give you that Hogan as I'm rounding the bases. That's kind of who I am. I love screwing people on the road, opposed to having people cheer me and adoring me at home. That's how I am. I operate my best in the face of adversity when everybody is going against me, which I kind of think we have here in this Game 5. From what I've seen so far, from the narratives I'm hearing around, they're like, oh, well, last game was an outlier. This is just going right back to these high-scoring games. I will be shocked, truly shocked, if this is a high-scoring game. After a 3-0 game that represented exactly what this series was always supposed to and now looks like, now, you think magically we're going back to, 6-1, 7-1? I borderline refuse to believe it. From everything I've seen in every playoffs, including these playoffs, what was the score of that Edmonton Oilers game last night? Did it go over or did it go under? Every single game in these playoffs, even in these earlier games, how many goals did Florida score last game? Oh, 0. How many goals did Carolina score the game before that? How many goals? Every single game, one of the team totals is remaining under. So while there's been a little bad luck in terms of if you were betting on unders with one team just piling it up and then a few empty netters, there hasn't been as much scoring as you would think in this series and the other series because we're in the conference final. A trip to the Stanley Cup is on the line. So let's say Carolina gets a lead in this game. Did you see how they played with a lead in the last game? Let's say Florida gets a lead in this game with a potential chance to close out the series on the road. Have you watched them in closed-out games? I refuse to believe this is going to be a high-scoring game. I just do. So here, I mean, that's partially why I made this video. I was like, I don't know, they don't really need that. No. I'm making the video because I'm letting you know. Many people, let me just comment. You don't even have to agree, disagree with the picks I'm about to give you. Comment if you think this is an overs game or an unders game. Do you think there is going to be more than 5.5 goals or fewer than 5.5 goals? And it's amazing that Game of Thrones taught me to never make the mistake lesser than it's fewer. I always think of Stannis Baratheon in the back saying fewer fingernails. So anyway, do you think this is going to be over 5.5 or under 5.5? Because I think this is going to be an under game. Now, am I going to utilize my parlor tricks because I just hate the thought of a 3-2 game and an empty netter screwing me? Yes, I am. I'm going to take that under 6.5, and I'm going to use all my classic standard tricks. The first thing I'm going to do, something that I always tell you guys see someone on line 4? If you see something, sniff something. Taylor Hall had a brutal Game 3, got demoted to the 4th line for Game 4. Carolina won Game 4, so you got to assume they're going to roll out the same lines. A line 4, Taylor Hall. Yes, he's on power play too, but you see what their power play has done this series, and also power play 2 doesn't get a significant percentage of time, and also in Game 5, 6, 7, penalty calls usually go way down. There's usually like 2 power plays for each team. Under 6.5. Under half of a point for Taylor Hall. That's like -110 or -115. Then also a line 2 double under for the Carolina Hurricanes, Jesperi Kotkaniemi and Jackson Blake. That's an even +100. Then on Fanduel, yeah, we're going to do my same old tricks. No goal in the first 5 minutes, under 6.5. Then both teams to score in the first period, no, under 6.5 with under half of a goal on Matthew Tkachuk, who before this series, I told you, he just was no factor in the playoffs, but every team has that other team that they perform well against. And while Tkachuk is still turning the puck over left and right and looks slower than even Jason Robertson, which is saying something, who actually came through for you all last night, he actually has registered some points in this series, mostly assists and, a cramming in front. But he's been better than he has in previous series, but I'm still going under on his half of a goal. I don't think he's scored an actual shot in months, even in those goals against the Tampa Bay Lightning. So both teams to score in the first period, no, under 6.5 with the under half of a goal on Matthew Tkachuk. And as far as what I think is going to happen in this game, I believe you will see a somewhat reignited Florida, as you saw between the Game 6 mail-in against Toronto and then Game 7. They know how to turn it on. They know how to bring it. And maybe that Game 4 loss isn't the worst thing in the world for them. As I mentioned in the last video, that an extended layoff for Florida is not the best thing for them. When they're in the type of groove that they're in, I don't think you want to be sitting off for 10 to 13 days. And now that the other series might end early, things might set up very well for Florida, but we will see. We still got to get through this game, but I think the Florida Panthers are going to find a way to close out this series in 5. If you want to get them at plus money, I do think this is going to be a low-scoring game. Florida Panthers with the under 7.5. I believe that was plus 108. I don't know. You can check the prices on different sites, but I'm going with Florida here, and I'm going with a series of unders. You can even double under Brad Marchand, Anton Lundell. I think this is going to be just like last game. Somebody's going to break through with a goal. And then it's going to be the team defending, and then maybe there's an empty netter or two. I tend to think it's going to be Florida winning the game. Like I said, I will be very surprised if this game goes over, but we'll see. I know you guys have a ton of overs in. Didn't work out so well for you last night. I don't know, a lot of unders for me on this particular site. We'll see how it goes. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. Make sure you're subscribed here to the YouTube channel for the next round of videos. Maybe it's a series preview. We got this Edmonton Game 6 tomorrow. Are they going to close it out? Just lost Zach Hyman for the playoffs? I don't know. Can Dallas mount some sort of comeback? Find out. I will talk about that game tomorrow on the next round of NHL Sniffs. And if you want any sort of updates, any sort of additional picks, any sort of last-second information that comes in, you know where you can find that. It's on the Patreon, patreon.com/Andy Francis. That's where you can contribute to this show. You can be the lone sponsor. Still no Hershey's logo on the bottom of this. It's only you guys, so you guys can support the show at patreon.com/Andy Francis. But you also get more stuff there. That's where Josh is putting out his baseball picks every single day. I've been playing them. I don't know who any of these people are, but I think he's been doing pretty well for me at least. So hopefully I will see you over there. You can also talk with the other sniffers that are in all the chat rooms. If not, don't worry. Just do the free things. The free things bring the sports betting karma. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you think it's going over or under. Not because I'm trying to clickbait you into engaging. I feel like everyone's going over. I want to know. Just go. But now are you going to do the thing where you revert? I don't want to prove that he's right, so now I'm going to say under. Whatever. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow for another round of NHL Sniffs.